A lawn care services app expands into Rockford. Residents can now use GreenPal to find an affordable option for lawn care. It allows homeowners to list their lawns with their service date and lawn care needs on the app. Then pre-screened pros bid on the property, and homeowners can choose the best one based on ratings, reviews, pictures of their work, and more. William Payette works with State Line Cityscapes and this is his second season with GreenPal. He says this app is an efficient way for homeowners to find local, safe, and reliable lawn care at a price they can afford.
When GreenPal first started, it was kind of slow, but it's definitely grown over the last couple seasons. People are more aware of it, becoming more comfortable with it. Vendors have more reviews, so people are really getting to be able to see the background of vendors and becoming more comfortable with the vendors of the area.